Puck Buddies. Welcome to the Puck Buddies. This is it.
This is it?
Is this our last episode?
This is it, guys. We had a run.
Yeah. It's been a good run. We decided that
Unanimously, you guys decided that you do not care for us.
based on the view counts, we decided we're just mailing it in tonight.
It's just us watching it. So last week we did Eastern Conference.
We did
which I'd like to point out that last week I said Montreal would go do well, and then they instantly just started losing.
Yeah.
So.
And Boston has started winning lately.
Yeah. Well,
they've been doing all right. So, but it's still. I was looking at the standings. They have changed a bit since we predicted.
Yeah.
So they're not
it's already,
the same matchups.
Yeah. This week we're gonna do Western Conference, which could just be a whole mishmash later.
Really?
Right now, it looks like Boston, like the 8 teams that are gonna be in the East are the 8 teams that are gonna stay that way. Whereas Calgary could very well be pushed out for LA.
Yeah.
Which would be huge.
People would assume that's gonna happen. I think
at this point, yeah, Calgary's got some injuries.
Yeah.
Giordano.
Yeah.
Their captain. El Capitan.
El Capitano.
Yeah, he's not doing so hot. He's out for the season, isn't he? Or...
I don't know. Yeah, but he's out. He's out for sure. He's out for sure.
We'll say out indefinitely.
Yeah, let's say out indefinitely. I like that.
We're going to do our Western Conference, as of right now, predictions, which I think these could be very, very by the end.
Just going to be a mess.
I think... maybe I should say this after. I'll say it after.
Say it after.
We'll do it now.
Don't forget, though.
I won't
forget.
Do
you need to write a little note?
No, I know what I'm going to say.
Okay. Do you want me to go first or first round?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Nashville and Calgary. Calgary. I'm gonna go with Nashville. But if that changes to LA,
I was gonna ask you that as well.
Was that the thing? Or?
No, that wasn't the thing. But that's the. Do you pick LA?
I think I would go Nashville? With LA, and that changes everything.
It does. That's a hard one. Like.
Yeah.
LA could. They've proven that if they get there, they're a different team in the postseason. So.
Yeah. So and then Anaheim and Winnipeg. I picked Winnipeg, and this is an upset, but
that's a big one.
But I don't know. I feel like Winnipeg, made some really good additions.
Yeah.
And I think that building is going to be insane in the playoffs.
It is. Yeah.
And I don't know. I just that's. I
think if they get there, they can.
Yeah, I just think maybe. St. Louis and Vancouver. I picked St. Louis. And Chicago and Minnesota, I picked Minnesota with the Patrick Kane-less Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. Do they have they don't think he'll be back unless they make a deep run, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard so far. I mean, if that changes, I guess. I don't know if he swings the series, but yeah. What about you?
So I went Nashville and Calgary, but like you, I think LA... it's a harder decision. I picked Nashville pretty quickly.
Right.
But in the Anaheim, Winnipeg, I went Anaheim. I think Anaheim's just a really strong team. It's they're a hard team to go against.
Yeah.
St. Louis, Vancouver, I went St. Louis. I just don't think Vancouver has it to go.
No. Will Ryan Miller be back by then too?
I think they're saying that he should be, but I mean, he hasn't played for 6 weeks. You just toss him in.
Yeah. Who knows?
And then Chicago, Minnesota. I took Minnesota. I think Chicago, without Patrick Kane, looks a little bleaker. Yeah. And they're not the same Chicago that's been to the Cup a couple times. And I just don't know if they have... And I think, Minnesota, if Dubinsky continues to play the way he's played...
Right, yeah.
They could go really far. The point I was going to make before is, I think the difference between the 1, 2, 3, and the 6, 7, 8 in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference is it's a lot closer in the Eastern Conference to call, I think, those top matchups with the bottom matchups.
Right.
Whereas I think the top of the Western Conference is really strong and the bottom isn't as strong. Like
Okay.
in terms of like Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Calgary. So your second round will be
Yeah, so would have been Nashville versus Winnipeg, and I had Nashville winning that series. And St. Louis versus Minnesota, and I had Minnesota coming in on top in that series.
mine would be Nashville and Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I took Nashville in Anaheim, St. Louis. I took St. Louis as an upset at the 3 seed.
Western Conference Final. I have Nashville versus Minnesota, and Nashville coming in on top of that one. Nashville versus New York Islanders for the Stanley Cup.
All right.
And to be honest with you, that's not a very interesting series for me.
That's not that exciting.
But that's what I got.
So I have Nashville, St. Louis as the Western Conference Final, and I went with St. Louis. Nashville's, either of those teams is a pretty good pick. I'm going with them, so mine would be, I picked the Habs, I guess, so Habs St. Louis, which would be really, I'd be super pumped if the Habs made it,
But you may have messed that up.
yeah.
Single-handedly, like,
Yeah.
it'll come down, like, you may get an email or something from
Yeah.
from the brass there,
Yeah, I know.
front office.
So you have New York, Nashville. Who would you say?
I'm gonna say that it's Shea Weber's turn to hoist the cup.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Shea Weber gets it.
kissing it.
You're going with defense wins championships.
Yeah, and goaltending. The Islanders. To be honest, if I was picking who I'd want to see win out of that series, I think it would be the Islanders. I just think, I don't know. I really like John Tavares. The Islanders have a more interesting team to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like Nashville has some kingpins that are hard to ignore, and I don't know. Like I said though, like one thing changes on this list, and LA makes it instead of Calgary.
It changes everything.
I don't
you
even
could be taken away, and Nashville might not even get anywhere.
Exactly. So before we go on, our viewers at home are probably wondering: is Martin going to pick his team to win the Stanley Cup? And you'll find out right after this break.
Do we have a sponsor now? Mine would be Montreal, St. Louis.
Yeah.
I think I would have to take St. Louis
Okay.
in that, just because I can't keep taking Montreal because they're my team. Because it looks like I'm being a home teamer.
A homer.
Yeah. But I think Montreal's having trouble scoring goals.
Right.
And if you're having trouble scoring goals, the last team you want to see is a team that doesn't have trouble scoring goals.
That's true. I just wanted to say that, I love each and every one of you. I want to do it.
Comment underneath this video somewhere.
The video underneath in the comments section, and then hit some subscribes, because we're still a long ways off from 500. You need 500 to have your own YouTube URL, and I want that URL. I want it. I'm coming for it. 500.
Can we just make
17?
Can we just make a bunch of
fake accounts?
fake accounts?
We could do that. We'll think about it. We need the email addresses for every one of them, though.
Ooh.
So the puck.
I feel like you're buddies.